LOP in the building. My life been a movie, I should've filmed it. Nicely with the pen game. Pops taught me the spit game. Get your cameras ready, we heavy catch when I'm in frame. Produk, opinionated, but I'm coming through smooth with it. I be kicking backs, you could Google it. Run a block to the booth, hear the truth, just another lane lock. I'm a Crown Heights legend, still repping the same block. Whoa.
You are now listening to the Life of Produk podcast.
Yeah. What up, man? It's the boy Produk. You are now locked into the Life of Produk podcast. This is episode 12, second episode of 2021. We made it. Let me not say made it, we're making it. Let me correct that, because shit been kind of crazy. A little crazy, you know what I'm saying? So let me pump the brakes on that. Let's, keep our fingers crossed and everything. But what up to everybody? Thank you to everyone that's supporting the show. It's on multiple platforms. You guys been hitting me up, sending emails, sending DMs, commenting on everything like that. And I really appreciate the support, because I don't really just do this for me, I do this for you guys too. You guys been actually sending me feedback and also telling me what you guys would like to hear on the show. Some of this shit kind of crazy. Somebody asked me for relationship advice. Listen, I know that person is listening. Do not ask me for relationship advice, because I done struck out a few times and I'm not trying to fuck your life up. I'm not. So whether you're in a relationship or not, or you're trying to get in a relationship, I don't think you want to take that shit from me, because it might just make it bad. Somebody hit me up the other day and was like, "Yo, son, how can I bag shorties?" Dog, the fuck? Where your pops at? I can't tell you how to do that. I can tell you how to do that, but I can't tell you how to do that. I'm not gonna go that route, brother. But everything is on deck, man. We actually plan on making the show a lot bigger. I'm not gonna reveal to y'all yet. Everything is in a pot and it's cooking right now. So whenever I get the confirmation from that and I can give y'all the information, I think you guys are gonna be very happy. But today, this is episode 12. Episode 12 talks about one thing that I would like to do one time. I actually have like a small bucket list of things that I would like to do one time. But there's like a few of them, like a handful of main things that I would really like to do. Well, one thing, before I get into one of the main things I want to do, I want to go to Africa. And this is something that me and my pops was actually talking about years ago doing. This is before he retired. He was still working. His schedule was a little crazy. My schedule was a little crazy. So we never actually made it. We wanted to go to Nigeria. And it's crazy because growing up in Brooklyn, I had cousins from Nigeria that came to New York to live, and I got to meet them. And it was great. It was one of the best experiences of my life. So I've always imagined, if that was a great experience, going to Africa and visiting family there would be even greater. Then I have a small extended family from Nigeria that we were introduced to through one of my cousins from Nigeria, and we're still friends to this day. We're actually more like family. So shouts out to them. Shouts out to my boy Bilal, Timmy, Yummy. What up, man? I love you guys. You know what I'm saying? That's my Coney Island crew, brother, Brooklyn. But yeah, so today's episode is one thing I would like to do one time. So one thing I would like to do one time is I would like to fight in an MMA cage match. 3 rounds, 5 minutes straight, non-stop. And I actually, back in the day, I used to go to Best Style with my pops and my brother. We used to go hit the bag at a gym and shit in Brooklyn. And it was kind of lit for a minute. We was going every week. Then stopped that for a while. I got a little older, to my early to mid-teens, I was taking judo. And I took judo for quite a few years, and the shit was amazing, dog. Like, it's, judo is one of those forms of, it's like a non-combat traditional form of kung fu, whatever. And to my knowledge, I was told years ago there was 2 forms of judo. There was like traditional, and there was like a combat judo. My sensei was like more of the grappling side. And the great thing about taking judo, somebody could be twice your size and you can flip the shit out of them. It teaches you a lot about balance and patience, and it teaches you how to really raise somebody up off of you and get somebody bigger up off you. Because a lot of people out here, especially in the street, a lot of people think because they're bigger than you, they can actually rough you up and stuff like that. And judo was one of those things that will prepare you for almost any situation like that. Now, you can still get your ass whooped. You know what I'm saying? I'm not telling you judo is going to win every fight. I'm not telling you that, because if you study traditional judo and you're doing mostly grappling, then that's what you know. You know what I mean? And I still used to hit the bag when I used to go to the judo dojo and shit like that. But that's one thing I would like to do is fight in an MMA cage fight for 3 rounds for 5 minutes. Now, with the small background in martial arts, with the brief background in boxing, I also had a lot of hood fights. A lot of hood fights. Mind you, I had an older brother. When you have an older brother and you have a numerous number of cousins, because I had a big ass family, you had to fight. It was either you learn how to fight or you get your ass whooped. You know what I'm saying? And it was one of them things where nobody was gonna fight for you if it was somebody your size. If it was somebody bigger than you, hell yeah, you go get your brother, get your cousins, you rock out. But if it was somebody your size, you had to, and there's no odd, you had to go out there and fight. And if you got your ass whooped, you had to go back and fight. If you got your ass whooped, you was gonna get your ass whooped at home. It was none of that. It was none of that, oh, this kid is my size, this kid is shorter than me, he just beat my ass. Nah. So with the fighting experience that I had on a regular level, and boxing a little bit, and then taking judo, getting into MMA is something I wanted to do. I actually planned on taking MMA late last year. Early last year in 2020, it was one of the things on my list. And then the pandemic happened, gyms closed up, and I wasn't really trying to go get sweaty and clinch up with somebody, arm grappling, and fuck around and get that Rona just off somebody sweating on my leg. It wasn't happening. But that was something I actually had planned on doing. Now, back to one thing I would like to do one time. One thing I would like to do one time. I would love to fight in an MMA fight for 3 rounds, 5 minutes. And I actually know the person I would love to fight. You know what I'm saying? Now, I got a lot of listeners from different backgrounds, right? I've learned I got listeners from every state. I've learned I got listeners all the way in Italy. And you know what I'm saying? Which is amazing. Shouts out to Italy. Yo, DJ Piombo, what up, dog? I know for a fact you're one of the people fucking on my show, and I appreciate you. So I don't want to offend anybody, but at the end of the day, I'm a grown ass man, and if you're offended, fuck it. I don't care. Poke your chest. I don't take that shit. If you're offended, it probably applies to you. So I would love to fight in an MMA cage fight for 3 rounds, 3 5-minute rounds with George Zimmerman. George Fat Boy fucking Zimmerman. Yes, I said it. Why? Because you killed Black America's little brother, motherfucker. And I'm still actually angry about that. I still got a problem with that. There's days I wake up and I say, damn, I would just love to run into this dude. Won't happen because he's hiding and we're in 2 totally different states. It's amazing. I'm laughing, but I'm a little heated on the inside because it's amazing to me that in 2021, that shit just, it's kind of like we just like swept it under the carpet. It's swept under the rug. You know what I mean? Mind you, an unpopular opinion, that shit opened the floodgates for a lot of murders that have happened. This kid who had a promising future, a great kid that had a promising future, had a great mother and a great father, was killed by a fucking toy cop. A fucking 8-hour licensed security guard literally killed this kid. Like, real talk, before we get deeper into the show, imagine a fucking overweight toy cop that's going bald has the power to kill this kid and get away with it. I got a huge problem with that. A huge fucking problem with that. You know why I got a huge problem with that? Because there's black men doing 20 to life over weed. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they want to let them out now all of a sudden because the shit's legal in multiple states. Fuck out of here. That's bullshit. So people can go to jail for selling weed. People could have what should have been minor convictions, but this man could walk away. I think it's bullshit. I think America tends to play these games with us. And when I say us, I mean us black people. America, and I'm not trying to race bait. I told y'all on previous shows I don't do that. But America tends to play these games with us. They tend to fucking play chess with our freedom and checkers. They tend to jump rope with our livelihoods and do shit like that. Because if you notice, there were numbers of cases that happened after that. There was a lot of y'all might not notice. I believe it was in New York when it was, what project was that? Was it Pink Houses? There was a project in Brooklyn when an Asian cop, I believe it was, or black cop, I believe it was an Asian cop, he shot somebody by a mistake and he was in jail, 2 weeks later and shit? What about the cop, I think he was from Texas, the Asian dude that was raping girls? And he was literally locked up within a month, and he's still locked up doing time. But a fucking 8 hours. Now, real shit, you know what really grinds my gears? I've been wanting to use that term for a minute, but you know what really grinds my fucking gears? The fact that he was treated like a celebrity. He was the man was a murderer and was signing fucking autographs on packs of Skittles. Packs of fucking Skittles, dog. the level of disrespect, like I never would have imagined that in the present day that we living in, we would have saw some shit like that. They literally treated him like a celebrity. There was a fucking celebrity boxing match that was damn near almost set up between him and DMX. I forgot the promoter's name. When I first saw this shit I think I was on Facebook, and I was like, nah, this is not it. I said, this is a lie. This is some Photoshop shit. And I went to Google, I went to official websites, and I'm looking like, wow, they just slapped us in the fucking face. That was a slap in the face to Trayvon Martin's parents, his family, his short-lived legacy. That was a smack in the fucking face to that. To literally title something as a celebrity boxing match and literally try to cash in on a murder. And I believe that they was trying to set him up in a fight with DMX. And I believe they took something that DMX said, like a statement, and ran with it as if the fight was really going to happen. The statement was, I'm going to beat the shit out of, don't quote me verbatim, I'll beat the shit out of him and piss on his face. And look, dog, we don't know what happened behind the scenes, you know what I'm saying? We don't know what happened. We don't know if there was more talks about that. I got a problem with that. Not just because it was set up and called a quote-unquote celebrity boxing match, but for the fact that they tried to have George Zimmerman, who was in his early 30s, who was, 100 pounds, 150 pounds heavier than DMX? DMX was in his early 40s at the time. And at the time, DMX was recovering, unfortunately, and I'm glad he got through this, recovering from drug use, and he was going through legal issues. And DMX has asthma. I'm not saying he couldn't have whooped George Zimmerman's ass. I think he would have. But, like I said, the games that these people play, the fucking games that are played, they literally try to put George Zimmerman, label him as a celebrity, and put him in a boxing ring against somebody he is bigger than. You understand what I'm saying? Why the fuck they ain't go get somebody his size? Why the fuck they ain't go get somebody the same age as George Zimmerman? And that's the issue I have. So yes, I would like to one time fight in an MMA fight, 3 rounds, 5 minutes each against George Zimmerman, and I would whoop George Zimmerman's ass. I said it. I did. I would, and I would gladly whoop his ass. And y'all better pay me for it, because I ain't doing it for free. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I would do it for free in the street, but in a boxing ring, I would whoop his ass. In an MMA cage, I would whoop his ass, and I better get paid for it. Y'all paying everybody else. Y'all was gonna pay him. He's getting paid fucking signing autographs. He was taking donations. You know what I'm saying? And not to get on the more serious side of the show, but this is why the floodgates had opened. If you look at the timeline of that happened some whatever years ago. The celebrity boxing match was supposed to happen in 2014. You know what I'm saying? The fucking Trayvon Martin shit happened some odd years before that. The man walked. It opened the floodgates. It opened the floodgates for Sandra Bland, Corinne Gaines, George Floyd. The list goes on. The list literally goes on. Why did us as Black Americans only get somewhat of a chance at revenge in a celebrity boxing match? Why was justice not served? You understand what I'm saying? Why was it not served? I always wondered if with that situation, if the tables was turned, what would have happened? Well, we know what the fuck would have happened. If George Zimmerman was black, let's say Trayvon Martin was older and he was the security guard. Fat ass George Zimmerman was a young white kid. In that same situation, what would have happened? Trayvon Martin would be in jail for life now, especially in the state of Florida. I got an issue with Florida too. I love visiting, but I swear I can't stay that long. I cannot stay that long. Every time I go to, well, it depends on what part I go to Florida. I go to Florida, I don't know me. I'm gonna shut up because I got people listening to Florida. Shouts, I really love y'all. I just have serious issues in Florida. Serious fucking issues. I almost had an issue with a Karen at a Walmart one time. I had to shut that shit the fuck down. And I threatened the shit out of her legally. And I said, there's 2 cameras right above your head. Try some shit. I'll see you in court. This is a true story. Really had to do that. So why I had to do that? Because I had to protect myself. And like I said, people play games. People play fucking games. So George Zimmerman was a young white kid, and Trayvon Martin was an older black man. Trayvon Martin would have got life in jail. White America and the legal system in Florida would have made a fucking example out of it.